It turns out that when you deal with any process, there are certain tools that can help us understand that process and improve it. In this lesson, we'll explore Sipoc, the first of two helpful tools that we'll use to unpack one on ones from a process perspective. Remember, one on one meetings are a people process. So let's first talk about what it means to have a healthy and effective process. First, step by step process documentation. At the end of the course, we're happy to offer you the opportunity to roll out this course to your organization's managers, which includes a downloadable worksheet that includes step by step instructions and a template that can be used to plan and conduct one on one meetings. An effective employee one on one also should have guidelines for how exactly to conduct that meeting. The worksheet also includes prompts that will allow your managers to be themselves while still following an effective one on one process. Lastly, we believe standardization is very important across the organization. By following these process steps, every manager will have a similar process approach to deliver human value in one on ones. We said earlier in the course that one on ones are a process already delivering a product. We mentioned there are inputs, outputs, customers. So, what do we mean by this? Well, meet tool number one, SIPOC, which stands for suppliers, input, process, output, and customer. The purpose of this tool is to give you an eagle eye view of a process, including the necessary information that goes into it and what value is meant to come out of it based on the customer's needs, that is, the employee. This focuses on the delivery of value to the employee from the organization through the information sharing process of a one on one. Naturally, as we've said, the organization will receive value as well from a one on one if the employee receives the value that they need. This tool, by the way, is included in the appendix of the downloadable worksheet. Let's start with the supplier. This is the person who supplies the input into the process. For a one on one, the manager is typically gathering and will analyze the information relevant to the one on one meeting, but the information itself typically comes from other suppliers, including the employee, other stakeholders, and organizational systems. Input is the information required to complete the process. So that would include things like observations of the employee, both competencies and skills. Also, input from other stakeholders, such as team members, project members, other leaders in the organization, or customers. Another type of input is organizational data, metrics, the learning plan that the employee is using, progress updates, opportunities, career trajectory information, recent reward and recognition, or action items. Lastly, there's also input from the employee themselves, their growth and learning plan, the frontline intelligence that we've mentioned, the status update that they can give on their need buckets. All of these inputs are important for the manager to consider in order to create value for the employee in the one on one. The process is the steps, the activities, the tasks, the procedures that are required to complete the process. For one on ones, we've kept it pretty simple, just three steps. First, gather and analyze the input. Second, build the meeting plan. Third, conduct the meeting. The downloadable worksheet at the end of this course will walk your managers through these three steps in detail. We do recognize that your organization's one on one process might look a little bit different, but generally speaking, these three steps are required. Output must meet the needs of the customer. Again, that's the employee for a one on one process. The product of the process to be delivered to the customer is employee value. So that includes, again, transactional value and human value. Information flow includes those key categories of information to be shared in the one on one that we've already discussed. And of course, human value also includes information about the need buckets, autonomy, competence, and relatedness. And remember, the whole idea of creating EX value in a one on one is so that that value can be multiplied into value creation for your external customers and, of course, right back to the organization as well. Lastly, we have the customer, which again, in this case, is actually the employee. That's the receiver of the value from the process. In a one on one, the point of this process is to create value for the employee. And of course, the more value that's created in the one on one for the employee, the more that can be passed along to your external customers, the organization, and for the managers. Next, we'll look at another tool that will help clarify what kinds of waste we often find in the information sharing process of a one on one.